I say week after. Oh.
Dale's trying to figure
Yeah.
out how he's going to skirt Coop here on the Stake 44 bet that I'm going to observe, make sure it happens, folks.
Yeah, but in the meantime, in between time, Dale, I think I heard you guys discussing the Cardinals' head coaching position.
Yeah.
Is that still open, Coop?
It is.
Well-
I mean, if you want to throw your name in a hat,
Yeah.
Well, it depends how dinner went
I'm
last
sure the
night.
Cardinals will move you right to the top of the list. I saw, I believe it was the AZ Central I was reading. I think they listed 3 candidates
Yep.
that were the in the lead or the
Yes. Reportedly, it's down to 3. I don't know where you get that information. They don't announce it, but reportedly, it's down to 3.
So of the 3, my question to first Dale and then to Steve, who do you like of those 3?
So it's Rams offensive coordinator LaFleur.
Mike
Excuse me.
LaFleur.
It's the Jaguars defensive coordinator that I'm
Anthony.
and then it's Raheem Morris.
Hey,
I thought it was Anthony Weaver. What I read.
Did you read Anthony Weaver?
I did.
Okay, because I hear
Is it Raheem? Okay.
Raheem Morris for a specific reason, though. And we can talk about that. Oh, I didn't hear Anthony. Oh, Anthony Weaver. Dear God, no.
Well,
he done in
but
life?
see, the thing that stood out to me is that each and every one of them will once again follow that trend of first-time head coach
Yes.
NFL.
Oh, except for Raheem Morris.
yeah.
well, I didn't have Raheem.
Oh yeah,
in
you
there.
didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other side. Yeah.
Yes.
But my problem with the Rams offensive coordinator, which everybody seems to want,
Mike LaFleur.
is he doesn't call the plays, and that's not his offense.
It's
Well, yeah. Well, look. He spent 4 years with Shanahan
Yep.
in San Francisco. Wasn't a play caller.
Yep.
Spent 2 years with the Jets, and they were just god awful.
horrendous.
And now he spent the last 3 years or so with the Rams, and where
Yeah.
he isn't the offensive coordinator.
Right.
But to be, and I guess what I hear he's a leader in the clubhouse because he has experience with head coaches of Shanahan and McVay's tree.
Right.
Extensive knowledge there, and so what that means in the long run, I don't know.
Nothing.
But just looking at the other, if those are the 3 leaders in the clubhouse, give me LaFleur.
Yeah, the Miami Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver was in yesterday for an interview, and then they moved on to LaFleur, and then they took him to dinner. It's a 2-day interview with LaFleur, which tells you he's their favorite. If you're doing a 2-day interview,
Yeah.
you're trying to Bidwell's probably like, hey, I don't yell at people.
And
Ignore the news clips.
And the sad,
I'm nice.
the sad thing is, and I think we talked about it on this very show. We talked about previous head coaching experience should be number one criteria.
Mhm.
And so when you watch John Harbaugh go to the Giants, you see that Mike Tomlin's going to sit the year out, and then Robert Saleh, he signs, and then there's some guy named McDermott from the Buffalo Bills.
Mhm.
I mean, he's available, still sitting out there,
Right.
and yet you don't even bring him in for a cup of coffee.
Do you think maybe they made a phone call and he said, you know what?
Hey, I didn't think about that.
Don't
I didn't think
don't
about it.
worry about it.
I have a feeling that's more the case than the Cardinals not wanting him and talking to him. Because as soon as he was fired, they called Joe Brady and asked Joe Brady to come in.
Hey,
to
I
interview.
like Joe Brady.
I like Joe
I
Brady.
really do.
He's kind of
mean-
falling off the wayside, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Well, look,
he's interviewed and then gone. Yeah.
Yeah. What he did at LSU, and granted, he had Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
I mean, that is elite.
Yeah.
But he won with it. There's people who could bomb with it, and so now in Buffalo, I mean, granted, he has one of the best quarterbacks in the league in Josh Allen.
Right.
But look, man, I like his pedigree. I like his background. I
Right.
like his
He
resume.
wasn't at what? It was someplace else in the Carolina. Where did he go
It may have been Carolina.
after LSU? Because then he left and went into the pros, and it was kind of like, this is the next future head coach out
I can't
there.
remember where it was. Either.
But yeah, I just don't. None of them are overwhelming. But I have read that Mike LaFleur coming in here, and then I've read that him and they're kind of setting up a Raheem Morris duo here.
Yeah.
Defensive of Raheem Morris, obviously Mike LaFleur on the offensive side of things.
Well,
I like that combination. That combination intrigues me.
I do too. And so, look, let's say you brought in LaFleur and you reunited him with Raheem Morris because the two of them were with McVay in L.A. with the Rams. What's to keep you from spending more money if you're Mike Bidwell and bringing in a Joe Brady as your OC?
Well, that's what I was just going to ask you. LaFleur not calling the offense. He probably has some of the offensive concepts, obviously. But is that telling you, LaFleur, the head coach, if they bring in a Raheem Morris, then bring in an offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
An experience.
Yeah.
Because that was Gannon's problem. He didn't have experience in the coordinator positions. I think that's more important to me than the head coach.
Yeah, and look, for the Cardinals, I think their best talent on the team lies on the offensive side of the ball, and so that's an area where the Cardinals really didn't shine too well this past season, specifically particularly in the red zone. I mean, they were they could drive between the 20s against, and so you need. I believe a keen offensive mind,
Right.
and that's why. Look, I don't mind a Joe Brady. I really don't.
Here's what interests me the most about this is like they were looking at the Seahawks offensive coordinator. He's going to the Raiders. Kubiak. Does it? I find it interesting, and rightfully so. They should be doing it, but I find it interesting. They're looking a lot at in their division. Robert Saleh.
Well, yeah, but don't you want to
everybody
try
on the Rams?
Don't you want to try and emulate him? Because ideally, what you do is you weaken them a little bit, But I want to ask you two this question because I heard somebody bring it up over the weekend. If you're running the coaching search,
Okay.
put you you're the general manager.
Okay,
All right, Michael Bidwell said, "Coop,
I like that.
I'm stepping out.
I like that.
You run it."
I like it.
What's your first question to a coach? Is it about the quarterback position?
Absolutely, it is.
And what would you be looking for in an answer?
I'd be looking to see his answer is my skill set and what he can bring out of the quarterback that I have there.
Right.
Because, see, I'm not a Jacoby Brissett fan because after 10, 11 years in the league, he's shown you who he is. If someone shows you who they are over that length of time, believe him. With the Cardinals and Kyler Murray, so Kyler Murray is my guy. Until you find me someone better, Kyler Murray is my guy.
Okay.
Make no ifs, ands, or mistakes about that. And so I'm looking to see what he tells me relative to what I've seen with my own eyes.
Okay.
Because what I saw with my own eyes is when the Cardinals gave him a DeAndre Hopkins, a Christian Kirk, an A.J. Green, they were, 7-0?
Yeah.
They were 10-2. They were, and so since that time, under Gannon's regime, we saw Drew Petzing bring in his offensive system.
Mm-hmm.
That when we talked about in the exchange, that square peg.
Yes.
He took that round hole, Kyler Murray, and I'll be damned if he's going to fit in this, and I'm not going to adjust at all. So I'm looking to see that coach that I bring in answer my questions relative to his adaptability.
Okay.
About how he can make this quarterback, the best he can be.
Right. Steve, what's your first?
I mean, it's just I mean, if I'm interviewing somebody, they better come in with a notebook of their plan, how they view the organization. A little score. This is a small one. I think they just sounds like this. But they need to come in with a game plan. Hey, here's what I see with the team. Here's where you don't have to get specific because I don't know if like you're not going to go. This guy's terrible. We need him gone. But you go, hey, this is what we need to do with this. We need to upgrade this position, these types of positions. We need more of a pass rush. You can get into those types of specifics. But to me, yes, the quarterback's a big question. I think the Kyler Murray question could be disqualifying, but I don't know which way it's disqualifying, keeping him or getting rid of him.
It's unquestionable you are keeping him. There is not a single quarterback in this draft.
Yeah, well, we got to remember the money too, though. That Bidwell doesn't want to pay. He's paying him $36 million.
He's going to have to pay that whether he's on the team or not.
Yeah.
And
so if you have a coach that says,
if you can't upgrade over Kyler Murray, guess what? Kyler Murray's coming back.
But you don't know what's happened inside the rooms, though. Like, is Kyler Murray expressed? Like, I don't care. I don't want to be in it. I don't care who you bring in.
If Kyler Murray wants to play, and what I think a change of scenery or just would have done him wonders, but also just a change in philosophy of quarterback. Coaches. I mean, I think that'll do like.
And that's where a LaFleur could excite you a little bit if you're Kyler Murray or anybody on that offensive side. Because I don't know, do you watch this Rams offense at all? I mean, Puka's a different beast. They have nobody named Puka.
Well, let me tell you
anywhere
something.
close to him.
Puka
But,
Nacua is
but other guys are open all the time on this Rams team.
Well, but let me tell you something. Matthew Stafford, after what
Oh.
17, 18 years in the
He
league,
looked old. They kept showing him on
sure,
camera,
but
and he
the
looked
light,
old.
The light bulb came on for him when he would change
Yes.
sceneries from Detroit to L.A., where they had better talent around him.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, Cooper Kupp was fantastic,
Right.
and so now I'm telling you, I'm watching in Seattle. I'm watching some kid named Jackson Smith and
Yeah.
Jigba. He looks to me like Cooper Kupp when the Rams won that Super Bowl,
Yeah.
or Larry Fitzgerald on that magical run that the Cardinals took
Right.
during the playoff. I mean, he looks damn near unstoppable. But you're right, Puka Nacua is a beast, and Devontae Adams. I mean, he looks like he was back in Green Bay again.
Yeah.
Now with the Jets.
Well,
It's
That's what gets me.
amazing.
That's what gets me excited.
It's,
You know-
it's amazing what happens when you can put people around certain quarterbacks.
Yes.
And the things
Well,
change.
How about
if-
develop
if
talent?
if you look at Sam Darnold and what he's done the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But
With
what I was
Justin
saying-
Jefferson and Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah, and coaching.
Yeah,
Is this
well,
a better coaching?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But what I was going to say is, you look at Matt Stafford. This dude supposedly couldn't hand the ball off in training camp.
His back hurt.
His back hurts so bad.
Oh.
And he goes out and has
back.
MVP.
and he'll be league MVP.
Yes, he's MVP season. But here's my thing, because I've never understood what you brought up earlier, Coop, is the fact that I think I'm looking for, as a coach, you see what we have. Now, fully understand we have to make some changes, because we don't have the talent to compete with the 3 other teams in our division. But what do we have that you think you can use, and how can you
Yeah.
adapt to that?
That's what I'd expect. Anybody
But-
coming
but
into interview
for-
would
for
have
me,
that
For
answer.
me, that starts with the quarterback position.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
saying.
You got to have an answer for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and if you say, hey, you know what, I think I can make Kyler work because I'm going to come in with a philosophy that plays to his strengths.
My ears perk up.
Right. And if he says, no, I'm going to be a 7-step drop team and I'm going to hold on to the ball and throw the
Aye.
okay,
Yeah.
it's not going to work. So it's fascinating because what we don't know is what the coaches are saying
Yeah.
Sure.
in private.
Absolutely.
And I would
Absolutely.
expect more from a Rams or Seattle person interviewing, a Rams person coordinating, a 49ers person interviewing, because they study the Cardinals. Now, a Jacksonville guy, now they played the Cardinals, so they looked at their film and stuff. That might be different. But I'd expect those guys to come in and be like, not saying, here's the problem with your team and here's how I can fix it, but phrasing it in a way like Dale's saying. That's what I would look for more so than, well, Kyler Murray or I'm not going to come here. Like, if they said that kind of
Yeah.
just turned me off
Well,
a little
yeah,
bit.
if
But
they said that, then
here's what my
I'll
offense
show 'em
can
the door.
do.
Yeah.
Here's what my offense can do. If Kyler Murray's here, this is what I can do with him. If he's not here, whoever the quarterback is will go to his substat. Not, this is my offense, and this is what we're going to, like you said, 7-set drop every play is all we're going to do.
Right.
We're going to run the ball nonstop. Well, you go, well, our offensive line's kind of terrible. And he goes, it doesn't matter. We're going to run it regardless. You go, all right, see you later. You obviously don't know how to adapt and stuff to that.
I just,
effect.
again, we're always talking about it from the Cardinals side. And why aren't they getting this guy? And why aren't, we don't know if they've reached out and what the channels are that some of these guys might go, we don't want to.
Yeah.
You guys finished 9 games out of 3rd place.
They were eliminated from the playoff. And
9 games out of
yeah.
3rd place.
That's
November.
a very sad testament.
Yeah, the fact you just said that
and
depressed
that
me.
has to be an NFL record.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
gotta be close.
look. When you see that GB games behind, you always look at the team at the top.
Yeah.
But if you're 9 games behind in a
The next one up.
17-game schedule to you in last place, dude, that's a sad testament. I would have to say that's a record.
I don't know, but the way you just phrased that, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
That just made me depressed.
Yeah.
Even more than I already am looking at this schedule. But at the same time, and I tell Dale this all the time, like I can understand Robert Saleh going, I ain't going to another team in that division. I know what that division's like. I just played in it.
Or he could say, I cannot go into another franchise like I've
Like the
experienced
Jets.
with the Jets. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could see the same thing with. See, here's the thing. I think they're getting LaFleur from the Rams a year or two early. You know, I think they're going for that. Clint Kubiak, to me, might be a year early than going out there.
But so
Um,
let me ask you this: what's the Vegas Raiders' fascination with ex-Seattle coaches? I mean, you just
Pete
went
Carroll.
with Pete Carroll.
Well,
Now
you're at least chopping 50-something years off the coaching staff.
that's a good.
Well, I
point.
mean, if you're the Raiders, here's why the Raiders are more appealing. Ownership problems and all that, I get it, right? But you got the number one draft
you
pick.
mean more appealing? Oh, than the Cardinals?
Yeah,
Oh,
than the
see.
Cardinals.
Well, I was going to ask
you got
you
a
this.
number one draft pick coming in.
And
Did
you got
see-
Tom Brady involved. I think
Yeah.
that is a plus, no matter what you think. I
Sure.
think that's a plus.
Sure.
Absolutely,
There is.
and he has a say in that organization. Mark Davis has given him a say.
So let me ask you this other question. Of the remaining teams that don't have a coach,
Mhm.
right now we have Cleveland,
Mm-hmm.
Cardinals,
Mm-hmm.
Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
I know
Bills.
that. And the Bills. That's right.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is rank those four as far as you're a head coach. You have more than one opportunity. What is your? I think the Bills obviously. I think would be
Bills are
unanimous
number one just
one.
because of Josh
Yes.
Allen.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So take them out.
Okay.
The other
take the
three
Bills
teams,
out.
because I think we look at it like, oh, we're so much better than the Cleveland Browns. You
Hey,
really
look-
want to come here.
And let me tell you something. Quarterback position to me is vital. And I look at Cleveland. Deshaun Watson, no.
Yeah.
Shadur Sanders.
Oh, he's a Pro
no.
Bowl. He's a Pro Bowler, Coop.
Yeah,
Coop.
yeah.
Coop.
Yeah, Dylan Gabriel, no. Cleveland automatically goes to the bottom of that list right now.
Okay.
Even with that defense, you don't think you can secure that defense?
That defense can keep it's special, can keep you in games. But heck, they lost one more game than the Cardinals.
I know.
Yeah.
No, and the Cardinals are in a better division than Cleveland.
No doubt about that.
No.
Well, here it goes to me. It's of these remaining teams that goes to ownership, and when you're looking at it, like you said,
Yeah.
you're not going to see big name guys go to these teams. Like Mike McCarthy going to the Steelers, he's from there. It kind of makes sense. But McCarthy's not going to any of these four teams. Say what you want about the Bills, they have an ownership problem, and it showed itself in that press. The GM's going to be a problem there. So an older person, and McDermott obviously isn't going to the Bills again. But an older person is going to go, I don't want to deal with that GM mess. Look at the Harbaugh situation with the GM with the Giants.
But they got a new dome stadium, right?
Held up, opening up, right? That's the problem. But then, like Cleveland Browns, did you see? I just looked it up here just to make sure. But the Browns have a questionnaire that they sent to every team, everybody trying to interview. A questionnaire.
For coach?
Yeah, and then you had to do an essay. You had to write an essay
I'm
on your
done.
thing.
I'm-
Well, that's why
I'm already hit
everybody's
eject.
backing out of it. Everybody's like, I'm not
I've hit
doing
eject.
that. I'm out
Right.
of here. So they're losing people just because of that. Type of a situation. I mean, I agree with you. Bills have to be first just because of Josh Allen,
Right.
even though there are ownership question marks there. But then that's the question. What's number two? Raiders, you're getting Mendoza, who's not 6 foot. Did you see that? 5'9" and 7/8 and senior day.
Mendoza?
No,
I heard he was
no,
6'5".
no, he's
Nope.
6'5". Oh, I'll bet you $100.
Okay, look it up. Did you not see his deal yesterday?
Yeah.
Dude, they've
No.
listed him at 6'5".
Okay, what?
You must be thinking about the baseball player Mendoza.
Yeah,
no.
dude.
Well, you guys talk, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
show you.
No, everything
No.
I've seen from
No, he's
even
6'4",
when he was,
6'5".
even when he was at Cal, I remember him with the Cal Bears.
Yeah.
because I think it was
Who yesterday
I
was
think-
measured? Then I think of somebody else. Who was measured
Yes.
yesterday and came in shorter?
Well, it was not Mendoza.
Are you sure?
100%. 100%.
Yeah, I look. I remember when Higley High School was sending some of their quarterbacks to go to Cal.
Right.
And so I remember Mendoza at that time. I'm looking at some of the stuff, and I even watched him in the Pac-12. Dude was, I mean, he looked 6'5".
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Oh, yeah, it was Pavia. Sorry, Vanderbilt's quarterback.
Yeah, a little different.
They're the same guy. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It was Vanderbilt. I'm sorry.
But
Sorry, guys. I'm an idiot.
and so you look at the Raiders. You have Tom Brady involved a little bit.
Right.
You're going to have the number one pick, which I think Mendoza, and we still never talked about the national championship game because you called him sick on that Tuesday. But I'd love to get your take on that.
Well,
and
I tell you what, I didn't think it was a game in which Mendoza stood out from an individual standpoint. But I tell you what, that Indiana team, the special teams play that they showed it from every facet of the game. The special teams play when they blocked the kick, they recovered in the end zone for touch. That was huge.
Yeah.
That was huge. And so then you look at the strip that the defense makes. I mean, they were making plays as a team.
Yeah.
Now, I'll give credit to Miami. They started to really put it together. I mean, they put together a run game. They were able to get the ball downfield for some big explosive plays. But if you're asking me if Mendoza look, I've seen Mendoza have great games, but the game against Ohio State and the game against Miami aren't two of them.
Well, but can't you also look at it and go, he figures out a way to
Sure
win?
Sure he does. I mean, look, that the quarterback draw that they called on fourth down.
There ain't many who are going to do that.
No, absolutely. And it's not that he's elusive, but did you see his will and determination?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he got in that end zone.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's a fantastic leader. If you listen to his post-game comments every time, I mean, he's a magnificent leader.
Yes, he
I
is.
mean, you want to take that guy for every reason that he shows on and off the field.
Right. So the Raiders have that.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I think I listed him number
Okay.
2 because of that and Tom Brady.
Okay. And then, so you're saying Cardinals first?
No.
Bills. I'm sorry.
We eliminated
Bills?
the Bills. Okay,
Okay.
so Raiders first,
Yeah.
Cardinals second, and
Cleveland
Cleveland.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really can't argue with you because you could have questions about all 4 ownership groups if you wanted to go down that road.
Well, I mean, you could put Cleveland in front of Arizona just for the simple fact of
No, you
division.
can't.
Well,
They
for
have no
division,
quarterback.
either to the
Oh, you
Cardinals.
talking for the division? I
Like,
got you.
I'm just saying,
The
look at the
division-
division
I got you.
differences.
I got you.
defense,
I got you.
You see what
there
I'm
are
saying?
some calling cards, but
Yeah. Well, the
it's
ownership.
Cleveland
Yeah.
or Paradise Valley.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're looking at it, you had to sit down and you were like, you have to take one of these 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You could look at the
hear you.
Browns and
I
go,
hear
you know what? I could turn that
That-
division around with the
right.
Ravens had head
Sure.
coach, Steelers now with McCarthy there.
Sure.
There's a chance we could turn it around there if we can find somebody to perform on the quarterback side.
Yeah.
And whereas here, I mean, even if Kyler Murray comes back next year and they win 7 games, you're losing the 3rd place spot by still losing it by 4 games.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like,
here's the deal.
it's daunting,
Here's
right?
the deal. I don't know if this is true or not, but I saw some reports that Matthew Stafford retired.
Yeah, I think he said before the season he was thinking about. I mean, he's been in the league for so long. It's his day's coming. If it's not this year, it's got to be next year. Or something like that.
And the only reason why I said that
Yeah.
I preface that
don't
because
trust Jimmy G?
I haven't seen it on any of the other credible websites.
Right.
So
I-
I take it with a grain of salt.
I saw
As did for you.
something, and I want to say it was the L.A. Times, but don't quote me on that. That said Matthew Stafford, or maybe it was a reporter asked him a question after the game. That's what it was. Because I get annoyed when they're like, "What about your future?" And he's like, "I just got done playing a
Yeah.
game. Quit asking me that." And he pretty much said he doesn't know. He's going to have to sit down and think about it with his family and decide what to do, after that. And that kind of just leads to those thoughts of. But I mean, he's at the age where he's only got a year or 2 left.
Yeah, but I
if
would
he's
think
even got
I
that.
would think based on what he did this past year that he would come back. That's just
You
Yeah.
would
my
think. Yeah,
opinion.
but we also don't know
Yeah,
if
we
his
don't-
back
we don't.
is his
Absolutely.
back a huge problem
Yeah.
to where he's not able to hang out with his kids.
Yeah.
Because,
How much did it?
you know.
Here's what you'll never know is how much did it take
for him to
to
get
get ready to
Yeah.
play on Sundays?
That's the
Was
thing.
it a doctor prescribed regimen?
Sure.
Yeah. Did he just automatically start feeling better? None of us know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the question. Because I mean, Jerome Bettis, famously, they beat the Cardinals. Or no, they wasn't in that Cardinals Super Bowl. But at the end of his career, he was like, "Man, if I could just get up and play on Sundays," he goes, "I play another year or 2." He goes, "But what I have to do Monday morning to get ready for the next game," he goes, "It ain't worth
Yeah.
it to do it at that point." So especially when you have young kids too. You can't pick them up because it hurts
Yeah.
and things like that. Yeah, Robert chimes in and says, "Puffy is 5'9", not in Mendoza." Same guy, like I said, same guy. Folks. They look the same. They act the same. What'd you
That
say?
might have been the biggest shocker ever if that came
Yeah.
true.
I don't know why I thought that was Mendoza. What was I?
Mendoza's
Look, I was
5'9".
had an ankle issue yesterday. I was out of it. Forgive me on that. Call me an idiot.
So-
I'm fine with that as well.
So, Coop, as we sit here on January 27th, Phoenix Open around the corner, Super Bowl next week. Give me the name that you think's going to pop up for the Arizona Cardinals.
For the coach?
Yeah.
Well, I think at the end of the day, it will wind up being Mike LaFleur. I really do believe that.
Okay.
It's Mike LaFleur, and you'll hear it today or tomorrow. That's what I hear.
I truly,
You don't-
truly believe that.
You don't bring a guy in for 2 days of interviews
spend money on him.
And then go to dinner. They went to Zips last night.
Yeah,
we think too.
I think it's a couple things. I think Michael Bidwill is enamored with Sean McVay.
Oh,
All right,
That-
and so
well,
then you look at
that's why they got
you
Cliff
look-
Kingsbury.
Yeah, you look at the offensive coordinators who've
Mm-hmm.
left McVay, become head coaches elsewhere,
Mhm.
and one of the latest was Liam Cohen down in Jacksonville.
yeah.
He went down there and he changed and transformed some guy named Trevor Lawrence.
Mhm.
Now Lawrence was, I mean, there was some a lot of skepticism
Oh, yeah.
in
Jacksonville,
Jacksonville
yep.
about him. That
Not anymore.
That talks.
Yeah, there was talk of a Kyler Murray, Trevor Lawrence trade straight up, just so these teams can get a fresh start.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not just Liam Cohen, but I mean, McVay has a tree of success.
Sure he
Not
does.
necessarily head coaches, but they go somewhere else.
Matt LaFleur being another one in Green Bay.
And
Yeah.
they go someplace else and as a coordinator, and they have success. Like Liam Cohen went to Buccaneers and had success before he went up there. That's what kind of excites me. But yeah, you don't bring a guy in for 2 days. The only way this doesn't work out is if he goes, LaFleur goes. Yeah, no, turns out I don't
Well,
like.
Yeah,
it.
but you know,
I think though if any. That's probably why the Cardinals, and I know we've given them a lot of grief about not getting these experienced head coaches.
Right.
I think that's why they turn to a lot of the first-time head coaches, because those veteran coaches, like you just talked about earlier, they're saying, no, you got to be kidding me.
Right.
And so you try to find that Ben Johnson or that Ben Cohen. So that's what they're trying to do. And so I think he feels most comfortable
Well,
under the McVay.
it's a money side of things
Well,
too. I mean,
well,
that's
Well, and the thing that he's also seeing, and this just it blows my mind. You look at what Vrabel did in 1 year. They go from winning 4 games to winning 13 games.
Well, I'll say this. I saw this posted, and it blew me away. Do you know that if you looked at New England's 26 schedule,
Yeah.
only one team
Mhm.
that they played during the regular season had a winning record.
Yeah.
I said, "You're kidding me!"
And then who
they
they-
listed the playoff teams.
yeah. The
and all the,
quarterbacks.
and all the issues that those teams
Yeah.
had. I'm like, are you? And now keep in mind, in Tennessee, you have to give Vrabel credit because his first 3 years, I believe they were playoff teams.
Yes.
Then he had a 10-loss team followed by an 11-loss team.
Well, he
and
took all
sat,
his
and he
talent
sat out
away.
all of last year.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm not. Look. If he had come to Arizona and thought he could do the same thing in that division that's with the
Right.
with the 49ers and the Rams
Yeah.
and the Seahawks, it ain't happening. So I'm not trying to throw any shade at him or anything like that, but it blew me away. I've never seen a team have a schedule in which they only played one team with a winning record.
And that's just the way that
Blew me
felt
away.
because they had the last place schedule.
they- okay, yeah,
which guess what?
Absolutely.
The Arizona Cardinals will have another last place schedule. They had last place schedule this year.
Problem is, they got 6 games against division winners. Technically,
Yeah, but if you looked in the AFC East,
Yeah.
it was only them and the Bills.
Right. Right. But you see Liam Cohen go down there in 1 year.
Sure, absolutely,
In one, you see
absolutely.
these turnarounds.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But Ben Johnson could
Yeah.
go into Chicago.
Yeah, and Dale, like I said, I want to make it clear, I'm not throwing any shade on Vrabel, but I never would have believed that if I
Right.
hadn't seen it with my own eyes. And I just saw that just the other day. I think it was Sunday.
Yeah.
well, that's what a good coach will do. They'll get you to win the games
You're
you're
supposed
supposed
to
to win.
Yeah, and you don't
and go up to that, and then you get the confidence, and then you get going.
And Dale, in the National Football League, you don't apologize for wins.
No,
you
no,
don't
no,
apologize
no.
for your schedule.
No. Guess what? If they win next Sunday, guess what? People aren't going to be going, man, you didn't beat a team with a winning record in the regular season. No, we're Super Bowl damn
No,
champions.
Absolutely. Look, you got to give that man credit
Yeah.
for what he's done. I mean, he's changed the culture, and that's what you look for.
That's what he's done.
Culture changing coaches.
Yes. Yes.
That's what he's done. He went in there, set the tone early, getting in fights in training camp this year. Remember that? And he got all cut up and everything, headbutting his guys without helmet. You need somebody. That's what Jonathan Gannon did change the cultures of the Cardinals. If you don't know it, he did. They got tougher. Well, until this year, they got tougher and things to that effect, and that is a different thing. But he wasn't able to expand on it and adjust and things to that effect. So get the next step there. The other thing about LaFleur that kind of amazes me that I think the Cardinals might be enamored, not just the Rams, because they're obviously enamored with the Rams offense. Because, like I said, Cliff Kingsbury came here as a head
Well,
coach
Rams have some talent.
because Cliff Kingsbury was viewed as the next, a McVay in terms of an offensive coordinator and what he can do out there. But then the other side of it, you look at it, and Mike LaFleur's brother does pretty dang well in Green Bay.
Oh yeah, Matt. Hey, look, Matt has convinced me he's a quarterback savant.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't expect Jordan Love
Yeah.
to be what he is, and then he's turned Malik Willis. I mean,
He's going to
who
make
was
some money.
Who was a first-round bust in Tennessee? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's gonna make money as a
there's
free agent
there's
this
no
year.
question.
Right.
Well, Matt LaFleur, I told everybody, if Matt LaFleur becomes available, which I thought he was going to, Green Bay came to their senses. I was like, that's the guy you go get if you're the Cardinals. That's the guy you pay whatever. Give him a blank check and say, get your butt over here. Get out of that cold and come here. And it didn't open. So maybe his brother's the next best thing. I think they're getting him a year early. But
Well, if they're
you
getting
don't
him
get
a year
him now,
early, if they're getting him a year early, it's because they won't get him next
that's
year.
what I'm saying. He's going to
Every
go.
year early.
He's going to go someplace else.
Now, I
next year,
also
but-
wouldn't mind. One of you brought up the fact that I wouldn't mind getting the LaFleur kid and bringing Raheem Morris
Yeah.
as a coordinator.
Yeah, you need an experienced
as a
coordinator, and I would even argue, like you said, still get an offensive coordinator in here with a little bit of experience as well, just to help out and take that pressure off. That's where Jonathan Gannon
Okay,
went sideways.
So
to me.
this is our ideal
Right.
coaching tree, our coaching staff for the Cardinals.
Right.
Mike LaFleur, head coach. Joe Brady, OC.
Oh,
Raheem
absolutely.
Morris, DC.
There
There
my-
you go.
I don't know. I don't know if Bidwell will pay for that. Well, the
Absolutely.
reason why people are leaning towards Raheem Morris as defense coordinator is because he's still in the running, quote unquote, for the head coach. And
Well,
you keep him on that because there's been discussions of, hey, Raheem, what if we go with this guy? Are you interested in being the defense? And he goes, yeah, let's talk about that. So then you keep bringing him in, you interview him a second time, you talk to him about that, and stuff to that effect. So that's why people are leaning that way. Because Raheem Morris shouldn't
he's
be in this
without a job. I
conversation.
know a lot of people say, well, what about Van Joseph? Well, Van Joseph has a job.
Yeah.
And he's not leaving Denver. I legitimately don't think.
He's only leaving Denver if he gets the head coaching
Yeah,
job.
and I don't think
He ain't
no.
getting one.
I put this out there. Cardinals are interviewing almost everybody nobody else wants. There's exceptions, like Clint Kubiak. They talked to him. He's going to go to the Raiders and stuff like that. But most of the people they've interviewed, nobody else wants. They might have interviewed, like Raheem Morris interviewed other places, but he doesn't have a job yet. Why doesn't he have a job yet? He's a good, stable defensive coordinator. And that I find that telling, too. It's almost like the Cardinals went, if they're wanted by other teams, then we're not interested.
Well, if
We
they're
wanna
wanted-
find our own
if
guy.
they're wanted by other teams, they don't want us.
Well, that's the issue, right?
Yeah,
Maybe that's the problem,
yeah.
is they get turned down. So that's the latest on the Cardinals hiring search out there. We'll see. I think we'll have an answer today or tomorrow. It is going to be LaFleur. But the question becomes then,
Steve McCullum, breaking news.
It's coming.
There you go. You gotta
you just don't interview. I mean, look at Robert Salo. Goes to Titans and they keep him overnight.
Sure.
He's there the night. You're working out contract details. You're making sure you like the guy and you like the owner and you like the GM.
Well,
and their vision of the future.
If we did a little scouting, if we sent Coop out on a little scouting trip and wonder where they took him to eat, wonder where they put him up. Is it at the Roadway Inn
Yes,
on I-10?
exactly.
Or is it Cal back in?
Did they do what Arthur Blank, the owner of the Falcons, did with Stefanski? Invited him to his house and broke out some ribeyes and grilled him himself at his house.
What?
You didn't hear that? Yeah. That's what he did for Stefanski.
Wow.
Arthur Blank was out there grilling these ribeyes.
Wow.
Or is Michael Bidwell taking him to Steak 44, the Raw room? Was he in the Raw room on
Yeah, was he
Sunday
cited?
night?
Yeah.
But you don't bring a guy in for 2 days if it's not going to work out. Is all my point is. It's designed to work out. You're not going to come here and interview for 2 days if you don't want the job. You're not going to interview somebody for 2 days. If you don't want the job, and so just working out those individual details. That's why it's going to happen pretty quickly now.
Yeah.
Well, I hope.
And I don't think you can announce it during Super Bowl week. I think the NFL don't they have a rule on that?
I think so.
So they
it's,
you have to announce it next day or two, or
Well, you
else
have
you
to,
have to
do it
wait.
this week.
Yes.
But you
That's
can't
what
do
I
it.
mean.
You can't do it.
Yeah, next week you have to be on a hiatus until after the Super Bowl. Things can change in a week.
Yeah. And we'll say this too. As far as Michael Bidwell is concerned, the fact that he invested money into a new practice facility with new with new structure and
he's got-
everything.
he's
like
got a
that,
banner up there.
Yeah. Based upon all the negative talk that
Yeah.
surrounded the team coming from players and things like that. Dude, now you have to answer the fans. Fans are teed off at you raising ticket prices with terrible teams on the field. Now go show them by putting together an elite coaching staff. I think we just talked about one right there.
Yeah.
One that
Absolutely.
shows that you're paying money and that you do care.
Every
And now,
fan
as
jumps
as
back
a
on
fan
this
saying,
bandwagon.
Yeah, absolutely. The fans jump back on board.
Right.
And now you have to follow that up with a strategic, a great draft class, and just see me for that.
The interesting thing is, right, is if you just hire LaFleur and that's it, then you got a couple of unknown things. The fan base ain't hopping back on that bandwagon. You need to make the splash. Michael Bidwell's a lot of things. Some say jerk, some say not a nice guy, some say an idiot. But he is actually a smart guy, and he reads those tea leaves pretty well. We've seen him do it in the past, and things to that effect moving forward. And so I don't think he's dumb, and I think he does bow to fan pressures out there.
Yeah, but you're right. But fans would certainly put their, I don't call it grievances, but their disdain for this team and some of the things that are taking place relative to price hikes. If you went out
That's
and
what I'm
you,
saying.
yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
I mean, a lot of people signed up for season tickets this last year because the team was 3-year rebuild. We're going to be good next year, and they finished with 8 wins the year before, so it was projected to be good. So a lot of new season ticket holders signed up last year, and now they're all leaving because they're like, "What a waste of a year! I threw my money away," and stuff to that effect. So it is amazing. He's very keen to that type of stuff, and I think they're not big names. It might take more than a coaching staff, but if you show you put the effort in with some experience now, and you're not getting the same. Because I think most fan base, and I feel this way, like we're just going to get the same thing we got this year again, just different names.
Hey, look, I'm going to help the Cardinals out a little bit. If you look, they have to start. And we're bringing Kyler Murray back for that. That's one, but they have to start with a running game.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the deal: if you look in San Francisco, they have some guy named Christian McCaffrey, and it doesn't matter who his backup is; they do well. It was Brian Robinson this past year. All right, look in Seattle: Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet. It's always that 1-2. You look in L.A. with the Rams: Kyron Williams, Blake Corum.
Yeah.
And now you look here at the Cardinals have a 32-year-old James Conner. You have to say goodbye.
Yeah.
You have a backup in Trey Benson that, hey,
You have to say goodbye.
sometimes you just have to say he didn't pan out. He was a bust. Say goodbye. So now you know where I'm going with the Cardinals with their first-round draft pick. Dude, I'm telling you just as sure as you're born out there, Jeremiah Love, he is a Bijan Robinson type, a guy they passed on a couple years ago. They have a chance to do it right again. I can help the Cardinals out.
Who was the last Ohio State running back to do anything in the league?
Last Ohio State running back? The guy plays for
Notre
Notre
Dame.
Dame.
I'm sorry, Notre Dame. When was the last Notre Dame running back that's done anything in the league?
I don't give a rat's.
Jerome Bettis?
I don't give a no. Well, Kyron Williams with the Rams.
Oh,
How
that's
about
right.
that?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look. That
Sorry,
that
Notre
means
Dame, not Ohio
nothing to
State.
me. It's all about the skill and talent.
I'm just giving you a hard time. It's just my dig of big time running backs don't always pan out.
But the
Beanie
thing
Wells.
is, Coop, do
Remember
you
Beanie
take
Wells?
did you
I
take
do.
him at take him at 3?
Huh?
You take him at
That's
3?
my question.
I'd have no problem taking him at 3. Zero. You know the card. Look, let me tell you something. Let's roll it back to 2023. Well, just 3 years ago, Cardinals had the 3rd overall pick. A lot of people projected Will Anderson to him.
Mm-hmm.
And they traded down this Texas. We know that. Cardinals traded back up to 6. Had a chance to still take him. They took Paris Johnson. You know who took Bijan Robinson at number 8?
Yeah,
You know who's all pro right now? Bijan Robinson. You know who's all pro now? Will Anderson. Now talk to me about taking somebody number 3.
but I don't-
And I'm going to go to your house now. I'm going to your house.
yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys. They drafted some guy named Emmitt Smith at number 18.
Yeah.
How many teams that go from 1 to 17 wouldn't take him?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Okay,
I
yeah.
understand. No, I understand.
I have no problem taking
But
him number
the
3.
one, I think the one reason that's a bad example is because I do think you have your left tackle for the next decade.
That's what I was going to say. It's
Hey,
not
hey,
like
look,
you drafted
he's not
Levi
a-
Brown.
he's not a bust.
I'm not saying that he is, but let me tell you something.
Yeah.
He does not impact the games the way Will Anderson does. He does not impact the game the way
That I'll give
Bijan
you.
Robinson does. That's why I go back and tell you all the time. You do not, if you're a team that's struggling, you don't waste your time taking an offensive lineman. I'm not trying to disparage you or any other offensive lineman. You take guys in that top 10, that top 15, top 20 that can make impact plays to win games.
What I will tell you is if they sit there at 3 and take that Miami offensive
It'd be
tackle or the
it'd be
Utah
a
guy,
colossal, it'd be a colossal mistake.
Yes.
Even
We've
if they
seen-
take
we've
that
seen-
linebacker
we-
from Ohio State.
We've seen it before.
Yeah.
I can go back to another time. Levi Brown, number
I'm saying.
5 overall. You have Adrian Peterson on the board.
Now
I mean,
that's egregious.
yeah,
I'm saying the Paris Johnson and Will Anderson is not egregious.
Well, let me tell you something. That draft, Joe Thomas,
Yeah.
who was an All-Pro left tackle for the Browns, he was the number 1 rated tackle on the board. Levi Brown was number 2. I'm going to tell you just as sure as you're born, there was not any media member here in Arizona who didn't approve of that the draft choice. They didn't approve of Levi. Only after the fact did they come back and now blame the Cardinals. When they were all on board, I'm going to tell you, I was here during that
Everybody
time.
was on
I
board.
argued with them.
But even Adrian Peterson dropped in that draft. He wasn't considered a high draft pick. Go back and read the stuff on Adrian Peterson coming out.
Adrian
it wasn't
Peterson,
flattering.
He went to the Minnesota Vikings
Yeah.
in that draft.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Hey,
flattering.
Hey, Coop's illness went away in a
I know.
hurry. when we
Got all
started talking about draft.
Gets all angry, right?
You're
Well,
darn- you're darn tootin' there.
let's fire him up some more. Let's talk some basketball when we come back here. With we're going to go back in time to last week with Hurley. You had some interesting thoughts on that last week, but then you know something different now. You know that they played another game over the weekend and beat Cincinnati. So
did.
does that soften old Olu up, or is he still all confused about that as well? So we'll talk about that. Come on back with Bruce Cooper here on Tuesdays. And we're back here on Tuesdays. He comes back, folks. Probably going to get me sick over here. I'm going to be out a week coming up here.
I think I got enough of it out of me. I think
Everybody around me sick, so trust me. If I get it, it's not going to be from you out there. But of course, we just got done talking Cardinals. Interesting enough, like this is what I'm talking about. The Lions, they hired Drew Penzing as their offensive coordinator, right?
Did they really?
And we all they did that last week, I think.
Okay.
And we all kind of made fun of that, right? Like, what? That doesn't fit. Well, then they've now hired the former interim head coach of the Giants, Mike Kafka. He's going to join the Lions in a high-ranking offensive staff role, which is interesting because both experienced guy between Kafka and Penzing. But they're stacking experience in the coaching staff to help them out, and the Cardinals didn't do that.
But here's the deal with Detroit then with Petsy. They have a traditional
running game.
drop back quarterback in Jared Goff.
Mm-hmm.
But Goff also has a running game. He has one of the best 1-2 running backs in Gibbs and Montgomery in all of the National
And
Football
when
League.
healthy, a pretty damn good offensive line.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And then you look, Amon-Ra St. Brown, that's a bad dude. I mean, Sam Laporta, tight end, it's a bad dude. I mean, he has a lot to work with there.
I'm not
And
saying
I don't think he can screw that up.
I'm not saying that adding Mike Kafka is because Penzing's not going to perform or they're worried about that or anything like that. What I'm saying is good teams stack
Right.
quality
Sure,
coaches
sure.
together.
Sure.
And the Cardinals did not do that under Jonathan Gannon. And Penzing, needed help this year and wasn't able to get it. So I just found that interesting that the Lions are stacking some quality offensive guys in terms of the coaching side of things. We don't know what his role is going to be yet, but so last week, the big story here, Bobby Hurley, of course, loses to West Virginia. So we're going to go back in time here and talk about that. And, of course, over the weekend, they beat Cincinnati, and they scored the most points of anybody against Cincinnati all year. So just to refresh the memory here, last week, West Virginia, this will be Hurley after game 2, Kobe. If we can play that here. Specifically, who's not listening, Coach? Here we go, Bobby Hurley.
But we talked about taking a foul at the end of the half. We had 5 team fouls, and none of the players on the floor had a foul. But this is why things that we might draw up on a board in a huddle don't get executed sometimes, because there isn't a commitment to listening. And we lack discipline in terms of listening to what some of the things that I'm trying to get across to the team. So my voice is not working with this group, and that was a great example of it.
I'm telling you, that was the single most morbid press conference that I can't say that I've heard. Well, I almost want to say that I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I do want to go there,
it is the worst.
but I do remember some angry tirades. Dennis Green stands out and stuff like that. There's been, but this is where it almost seems like it's a reflection of him. He says they're not listening to me. They tune me out.
He made it about him.
Yeah, he made it about him. So that's why I said it's the single most morbid press conference from a head coach I've ever seen or heard. And I was like, he can't recover from this.
Yeah.
It's time to move on.
And I agreed
We
with
talked
you.
about that. It's like this is a last ditch, last straw, I'm throwing in the towel kind of thing. But
Yeah, my gosh, his team did respond. And let me tell you something. A guy that really impresses the heck out of me, Mo Odom.
Yeah.
And I'm just talking about just from more so from his leadership. He sits out there and he calls out his team, and then his teammates as well. And now he's going to show them and lead by example. He did that against Cincinnati. He looked like that same dude in Maui when they're beating Texas, when they're beating all these other things. I mean, he was that dude, hitting clutch shots, leading the way, doing everything by example, and then getting on his teammates as well. And so I saw that Mo Odom from Maui against Cincinnati. And that's a good sign. That's a good thing for Bobby Hurley.
well, for him to come out, and again, in this day, I would say, again, especially in this day and age, and say, Coach Hurley was right. It's not necessarily maybe that we weren't listening, but we weren't doing what he was asking us to do. And we need to refocus on that. And how many kids would go, I'm transferring, screw it, I don't want to play for him.
He's a special dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great leader.
You talking about Mo?
Yeah, I'm talking about Mo. He's
Just
a
making
great
sure we
leader.
clarify.
A great leader. I'm sorry. Thanks for helping me clarify that.
Bobby Hurley?
And so I appreciate him.
Right.
I appreciate him because if they're not listening to Bobby, they're listening to Mo.
Right.
Oh,
They're
absolutely.
listening
Right.
to Mo.
Right.
And so that's important. And for Mo to have his coaches back,
Yep.
big time.
Yes.
So was that a one-game blip, though? I mean, we're going to find out. Obviously, they got
look,
Arizona next.
Let me tell you something. Well, I know they have UCF tonight.
Yep.
And
At UCF.
that's on the road in Orlando. And yeah, I mean, look,
At Arizona.
you can't expect them to beat Arizona. I watched Arizona last night against
BYU. I was
BYU.
gonna ask
And let me
you.
tell you, I was expecting. I said, look, this could be a win. But DeBonza and even Saunders,
Ugh.
Richie Saunders. I mean, U of A, they defend. I mean, they didn't. Every shot DeBonza took was a contested, tough shot.
Even on that
Richie
12-2
Saunders
run at
couldn't
the
get
end.
open for a three. I mean, Richie's one of the best three-point shooters in college basketball.
Yeah.
Dude couldn't get open for three.
And even at the end, when they went on that 12-2 run, BYU did, they had to work for everything to get there. And you saw that at the end, too, with the block from behind.
Yeah,
a lot
Brandon
of teams
Burries.
wouldn't have even tried that.
Brandon Burries, he was the best freshman on the floor last night, but he's not the best freshman.
And I was joking around with
that-
Dale with Koa Pete. I go, Koa Pete might not be the best freshman on that team.
Well,
just because last night the way he played.
Yeah. And look, Koa Pete's not even better than DeBonza. You can see DeBonza's individual talent. This dude's off the
That's why
chart.
Danny Ainge and the boys were there, right? Last night watching those guys.
But U of A made that young man work for everything he tried to get. And so I thought it was pretty special.
But-
if you watch this 43-point, I'm talking about DeBonza, if you watch this 43-point performance the other day, and you watch him against Arizona State University, you're like, dude, I'll take him. Let me start, tanking games. I'm taking him number one. Because he's that special of a talent.
Don't put that in the son's head. Don't put that in the son's head.
No, but you don't worry about tanking because if
32 late.
know this, that if the San Antonio Spurs have anyone's first round draft pick and they're not in the lottery, they'll get DeBonza.
Yeah.
I'm convinced of it. I mean, they've already gotten David Robinson, Tim
NBA's
Duncan,
rich.
and Wemby. I mean, look. Yeah.
But see, I look at Arizona State now after Bobby Hurley's comments last week. I mean, he had the other one. I have a longer clip where he's like, "Oh, this place is a morgue to play in." I'm paraphrasing and stuff to that effect, and blaming the fans.
Yeah, no. He wasn't blaming the fans because he said
He's blaming himself.
Yeah, well, he says we haven't given the fans reason enough to come out. So he put it again on his team. So if any fan listening that and saying that they blame me, you didn't hear him correctly.
No, he's blaming himself. But like I said, it's interesting. That was just a man that realizes no matter what happens this season, his job's done. He knows he's out of
You got to turn the page.
He's moving at this point from that side. But here's the thing: I'm likening this Arizona State job to kind of like the Cardinals head coaching position. You look at it and you go, just who's in this conference?
Yeah.
Like even when you're a middle tier, you have talent, but you're not great talent. Arizona State, right? They struggle against West Virginia, but they're able to beat Cincinnati. But then you're just no contest for the top tier guys, from that perspective. And it's just like, who are you going to get? To me, anybody would be better. Go get a high school coach from someplace here in the Valley to come to Arizona. Because I'm just tired of the attitude.
The most surprising thing to me that I saw about this ASU basketball team wasn't the fact that they got off to that 9-2 non-conference start. It was the fact that they played University of Arizona, the number one ranked team, down in Tucson.
Where they don't lose.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, the final minute of play, that was a one-possession game, the final minute of play, but U of A made,
and they were down.
Jaden Bradley made a huge shot, took it to a two-possession game. Look, I was shocked and blown away. But the fact that you can't follow that up now at
That's
home.
the problem. Yeah. It's a bad West Virginia team.
Yeah.
I mean, not bad, but middle of the road, Big 12.
Absolutely.
It's a team that you can lose to if you don't play well, but you should be able to beat, like Cincinnati, same type of a situation, when you battle it out there. But that's the issue. They're 2-5 in the conference right now. Look how many teams. There's Colorado, Cincinnati, both 2-5 in the conference with Oklahoma State.
Hey, but
then you got 3 1-win teams after it.
But let me tell you this. Of ASU's 5 conference losses, this is why I'm giving them all.
This is what I was going to say.
U of A, BYU, and Houston.
All on the road.
Yeah, all on the road. All top 15 teams.
And 2 of those were back-to-back.
Yeah.
Both those were back-to-back.
So I'm going to get...
They have a hard schedule. I don't disagree.
Look, but that's not the issue. The issue is...
West Virginia.
Absolutely.
That's the problem.
And I can tell you something else. The issue is Colorado at home.
Yes.
The issue is Oregon State at home.
That's what I'm going to.
I mean, dude, come on.
Right.
That's what I'm going to. Arizona State needs to beat the teams you should beat. And they should beat West Virginia. They should beat Cincinnati. They should beat Colorado. Should beat Oklahoma. But do you have any confidence, even when they play Utah here coming up, do you have confidence that Bob Hurley team's going to go in and beat Utah?
No. And as you talked about it, what ASU, I believe, is 11-9 and 2-5 overall.
I believe.
You take
11-9, yeah.
Huh?
11-9 overall, 2-5 in the conference.
You take those 3 games they should have won: Colorado, Oregon State, West
Yeah,
Virginia.
Oregon State was bad.
All of a sudden, you're 14-6, and what? 4-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a different
In the
look.
Yeah, some
it's a
momentum.
completely
Feels different.
look.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, UCF tonight. Yes, it's on the road, but they should compete and win. But do you have confidence they're going to go to Central Florida
Absolutely
and
not.
beat them?
Absolutely
No,
not.
if they win, you're going to be like, oh, they did what they're supposed to do. But if they lose, you're going to go typical.
Yeah.
And that's my problem with Bobby
Yeah,
Hurley is
absolutely.
like you don't get that. Nobody's going to blame you. Like his bosses aren't going to go. You couldn't beat Arizona and Houston on the road. You suck. Get out of here. You're fired.
Look, there is a time that they used to call Arizona State guard you.
Yes,
Point
he had,
guard you.
he had a shirt on with that when he played Houston. Did you see that?
And I'm telling you, they really did. I mean, I remember a Shannon Evans,
Yeah.
Cody Justice, and who was the other? They had a point guard that I can't think of his name right now too. But those, I mean,
A couple years ago, I know you're
yeah,
talking about. I can't
they,
think of it.
They could
yeah.
be down by 25,
Yeah.
and they were so prolific shooting the ball, getting to the rim. They can go from 25 down to 15 up.
But this is what bothers me about Bobby Hurley. I say the same thing about if you're a defensive NFL coach, your defense better be good. If you're an offensive NFL coach, your offense better be good.
Yeah.
He was one of the best point guards of all time.
Yeah.
And he can't get kids here to step up and perform here and want to come play for him, to be that guard you consistently.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts. He should be every guard in the country. Now, they don't know who Bobby Hurley is as a
Yeah,
player. I
was
get
gonna say,
that.
he was at Duke in 1989
but
and 90.
you should be able to talk the language with those kids, is my
Yeah,
point.
but their parents will know. Oh,
Yes,
hey,
yes.
let me tell you, this guy was there.
You're going to learn something from that
Yeah.
guy. Get down there and play it. But that's what frustrates me a little bit is that and from that perspective as well. But so UCF tonight for that. But Arizona, to me, Arizona's going to be a 1 seed in the tournament.
Sure.
And I'll say this: if they have a history of not making the Final Four.
They sure do.
Period. End of story.
I just
This
hope,
year they
I
better
just hope, I
do
just
it.
hope it's not one of those one and dones because they've had a number of those. I mean, dude, come on now.
Of that
Come on.
Acapulco Luke or whatever they used to call him because he would be like a top tier 1 seed and lose in the first round.
Hey,
No,
Tom-
This is a different U of A team.
This U of A
Hey,
team is Final Four
I've
or it's
seen some
disappointing.
Final Four caliber U of A teams
Yeah.
Yeah.
that were so dominant in the Pac-12 and just kicking butt and taking names because Luke never dodged anybody. They go on the road, beat Kentucky, Duke. What? They get in the first round, they lose.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Santa Barbara.
Stevie Nash and Santa Clara.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, you go on and on. I mean, so I'm telling you, I think this. I haven't watched Duke. I haven't really watched UConn, and so I
You've
mean, so-
avoided Duke games. Now they're on every other day.
I know. I've watched
That-
highlights of them, but I
that
haven't
boo-
really been
that-
able to sit. When I say I haven't watched them, I haven't been able to sit down and watch a full game.
They went from Cooper Flag to this Boozer kid, and it's nauseating
Oh,
watching this happen.
Cameron Boozer.
Oh my god!
His father Carlos was a huge NBA star in the NBA, and let me tell you, Cameron. What I've seen in the highlights, the dude can play.
He can.
He's something pretty special.
He can.
And so
He might not even be the number 1 draft pick.
the Bonds will be the number one.
Yes, I know. It's like, man.
Yeah, and so look. So I can't really say, but I'm going to tell you this: this University of Arizona team, they have everything they need to win the school's second
I agree.
career national championship.
Right.
They
Putting the cart
really
before
do.
the horse, but I agree
They
with
really
you.
do.
This team is special. No, get to the Final Four. You're not going to play, the Duke obviously until you get to that level. As long as things keep going the way they want. But this Arizona team's special. Going into BYU like that, they let them into it late and everything. But the way they play that second half was just what is happening. And defensive rules there. Really quick, Kobe, throw up that ASU football schedule here since Coop's here this week as well. You've had a chance to study it. I know you're like sick in bed with your chicken noodle soup and everything. There. Look, Morgan State to begin the season at Texas A&M there in Texas. Then they got to go to London for Kansas after
Well,
that.
I tell you what sticks out to me most about this.
Okay.
I mean, obviously Texas A&M on the road, they're going to be a top 10 team.
Right.
All right. But then you see Texas Tech on the road.
Yep.
You see a home game followed by BYU on the road.
Yep.
Those are the two teams that played in the Big 12 championship game this past season.
And they're going to be
You
back.
got to go on the road to play those two teams.
Yeah.
This is a challenging schedule for Arizona State. I mean, look, I like the fact that they're going to get a bye after traveling to London to play Kansas. Baylor's a good football team. They can put points on the board. But
They're rebuilding this year.
But I'm gonna tell you why I think I like Arizona State football this year.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why I think they can be something pretty special this
We
year.
have them at 8 wins. We decided 8 wins would be a good
I'm
good
going
game for them.
higher than that.
No!
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
It's the cold medicine, folks.
And let me tell you why. Because I'm telling you, their most talented quarterback is Jake Fetty. Their starting quarterback will be Mikey Keene. Mikey Keene.
You think Keene's going to win out?
I absolutely do.
Is that your high school bias, though, Tucker?
No. I'm telling you the truth. Look, I've went and watched film of Boley, Hunter Boley.
Yeah.
He's a big, tall guy that can throw, but you're going to have to be able to move and run.
Right.
And so what Mikey Keene does, and it's a lot like what you see with Fetty, but Fetty doesn't have the experience that Keene
That's
has.
the problem, yeah.
And so Mikey can be elusive. Mikey can avoid. He can get outside the pocket and be accurate on the run.
We saw that 3 years ago when he was with San Jose State.
He's accurate on the run. And then he can pull it down and run it. So these are things that Fetty can do, but Fetty is not as experienced. And so I like Mikey Keene. I think Mikey Keene is going to be really special for ASU. You look at the talent that they brought in. Omarion Miller, from Colorado. Some of these other receivers, Vines Bright from Washington.
Oh, the receiving and running back.
Yeah. And so I like what they have with a guy like Mikey Keene. I'm telling you, Mikey Keene's a winner.
Okay.
I'm telling you, this
I
guy
understand
has
that.
got to be the start. If he's not the starting quarterback for Arizona State University, then I don't know.
Okay, so after all that, blah, 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 blah.
More than 8 wins.
Yeah, we said 8 wins, and you said you're going higher.
Absolutely.
So give me their losses on their schedule.
Well, I tell you, those 2 games on the road at Texas Tech and BYU, those are going to be
You lose those
tough,
too. You're not going to the Big 12 championship.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They're not going to be easy to win. But here's the deal: BYU and Texas Tech, they're going to be playing each other too.
Yes.
And so, Utah's a tough team just because of Devin Dampier and the other quarterback they have. They can really run the
New
ball.
offensive coordinator, though.
And new head coach, yeah.
New offensive coordinator.
Let me tell you something.
They
They were able to retain those guys, and so I'm just telling you, they're going to be tough to beat. So
You're kind of hemming and hawing. Like you A&M, you kind of brushed over them. Is that a win?
That's not a conference deal,
that's
though.
not a conference game.
No, but you said more than 8 wins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll give you Morgan State.
Yeah. I don't think that. I don't think that.
Okay, so one loss to A&M.
And they'll lose to either Tech or BYU. So there'll be only one loss in the conference.
Well, you haven't talked about that team down south that dominated this year.
They have no chance.
Yeah.
If Arizona's quarterback stays healthy, they'll beat U of A easy. Yeah. They would have beat U of A this year if Sam Leffert were healthy. Not even a question. Not even a question.
Well, it's a question we can ponder while I'm digging into a big
Okay.
Really quick, throw up the. Do you have the U of A one handy here? U of A schedule here. ASU does this nice graphic and everything, makes it look special, and then U of A just throws like a spreadsheet up for you, right? Northern Arizona, but look at this: at BYU, second game. Northern Illinois at Washington State after that. Which I mean, Washington State's taking some steps back. Pac-12's coming back here, but going to Pullman. You know, you've done that a lot of times. I've done that trip a lot of times. That's a tough road one there. Cincinnati at home, at West Virginia. That's a long plane trip on top of it.
And plus, they're going to be playing Rich Rodriguez. So
yes,
Rich Rod ain't losing that
His punt flag sitting there, right?
I don't mind being in Pullman in September. I don't want to go there in late November.
It's just a hard place to get to.
It really is.
And
Dude,
stay
you really need to be able to fly into Moscow, Idaho, for it to be an okay drive. Otherwise, you're flying into Spokane, and that drive from Spokane to Pullman, brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
And then, at Texas Tech for them as well. To me, this is a brutal schedule. Arizona, if they're lucky, seven wins here, in my opinion. But look, they have the Big 12 football championship game on there. They're planning on going.
They put that on the schedule.
Look at them go right there.
Happen.
Hey, last thing for you, really quick, guys. Breaking news: Joe Brady being hired by the Bills as their head coach.
Stop it.
Yeah, right there, Adam Schefter. Offensive coordinator for Joe. He's been with the Bills since 2022. I noticed something about them. I thought Daboll was going to be their guy because whoever they hired was going to be whoever Josh Allen wanted them to hire, was my opinion was going to happen.
He's going to have a lot of input.
He had a lot of, well, he was sitting in on the interviews, by the way, the quarterback was. But that's why I thought it was Daboll because of the head coaching experience. But they went with this current offensive coordinator, Joe Brady, instead, apparently, according to Adam Schefter here today. So, yeah, good luck with that.
Well,
right?
look, if Josh Allen's in on it, Josh knows.
Yeah,
he was sitting
he
in on
does.
all the interviews.
It's always interesting to me because I went through a change like that where they fired Chan Gailey, they hired our defensive coordinator Dave Campo, and it's always fascinating when you hire from within because Dave Campo was the defensive back coach for a couple of years, then he's a defensive coordinator, good solid assistant coach. But we called him Camps. He'd walk by, he'd tussle with his hair, and you bust his chops and all that, and you kind of treat him the same way when he's the head coach. And there's the definitive difference.
Sure.
A different level
Sure.
of respect should be given.
Sure.
Again, I don't know Joe Brady from a hole in the wall, but it'll always be interesting when you promote from within to the head coaching position.
Good
Especially when the quarterback's sitting in on the interview process and stuff like that, because that tells me Josh Allen's going to treat him differently. I'll phrase it the way Dale did. He's going to treat him a little bit differently. And does that mean there's some cooperation, or does that mean if there's a dispute, does Josh Allen win that dispute, even if it's not always right? Kind of a big deal. 5-year deal there for him to go to New York, to go to the Bills as a coach side there. So that just leaves Browns, Cardinals, and Raiders, folks. And Raiders have their coach. They just have to wait for him to win the Super Bowl first.
So between the Browns and the Cardinals.
Yeah. So really quick, Suns, injuries, at least a week for Booker. Green's day-to-day right now, but they have kind of an easy game here coming up. Is it tonight?
It's tonight.
And then they got Cleveland, and then
the Pistons are in there.
Pistons, and then Cleveland after that.
And then the Paperclips, who are playing very well right now.
Yeah, they've gotten better.
Look.
Oh, they got rid of the cancer, Chris Paul. So what are we looking at with Booker and Green out with this schedule?
let me tell you something. This is all you need to know. Suns played perhaps their best quarter of this year. I mean, on both ends of the floor, when they were playing the Atlanta Hawks to close out their 6-game roadie. I mean, if you saw that third quarter, they're diving. It was contagious. Everybody's diving on the floor for loose balls. They're coming up fast breaks the other way. Booker, 16 of his 31 points in that third quarter. Suns go from, 10 down at halftime to 7 up. They're up 91-84. Booker, everything's going well. Booker sprained his right ankle stepping on the foot of, I believe it was Okongwu, late in that third quarter. Suns only scored 12 points in the fourth quarter against Atlanta.
The scores are out.
That carried over.
Right.
Excuse me. Carried over to Miami. And it wasn't pretty.
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty. So, the Suns need to be able to find some type of offense.
Well, it's to me, it's a double-edged sword because you've got basically 2 of your 3 main scorers out,
right?
But whether
and then Dylan Brooks
whether hamstring comes back tonight or not, we'll start calling him hamstring. But
Jalen Green,
yeah. But now Dylan Brooks seems like he's pressing. Colin Gillespie seems like he's pressing. And when you have those other 2 guys there, it alleviates a little of the pressure.
Well, sure it does. But here's the deal. They haven't had Jalen Green for pretty much the whole season. But if you watch the Miami game, and this is why, and look, it's hard to even say anything negative about Jordan Ott because he's been all of that. But Miami was so much bigger.
Yeah.
So you're asking Colin Gillespie, you're asking
Dylan Brooks,
Grayson Allen, and even Bouye and Jordan Goodwin. Did you notice that Miami was posting up their bigs in the paint? That's who the Suns, they switched them out on.
Yeah.
I'm like, and so they're killing the Suns on the glass. I'm like, Ott, you can play both Oso and Mark Williams together.
Right.
They don't have to be independent of each other. And so it's tough for me to see that the Suns are, giving up a lot of size to Miami did a lot of driving to the basket because they were bigger. And it has a twofold effect. When you're asking Gillespie and you're asking Goodwin to defend these guys constantly, you're expending way more energy
yeah.
than what you normally do. And so the Suns didn't even look like the Suns against Miami.
Right.
And so I was just surprised that as great as Jordan Ott has been, that he didn't at least try and make some type of adjustments to counteract.
I've
Miami's
always said
bigs.
that as a coach, if it's not working, you got to try something. And guess what? If that doesn't work,
Yeah, I would have gone to Rasheer Fleming as well. I mean,
Well,
even though
He just got done playing a G League game.
yeah.
in the Bell Watch.
Because here's the deal, he's big, he's long, and they can't take advantage of you like
Well,
they're doing with these smaller guys.
Livers
That's
played
the-
well, but your boy Boutier,
Well, here's the deal. It
struggled.
was Bouye. I think
I know,
it was
I call
his
him Bouye.
first game in like
Yeah,
maybe 3
yeah,
weeks.
coming back from
I mean, come
injury and stuff. I get it. But I mean, so I actually argued yesterday that Booker and Green kind of being out right now in this stretch could be a good thing because you might go 1-2 here in these next 3 games,
But,
right?
but here's the
With
deal.
your
Here's
plan.
what's so frustrating. The Suns had climbed all the way to the number 1 spot in the Pacific Division. They were a half game ahead of the Lakers
Right.
going into that Atlanta game. They were 27-17.
The Lakers
And I was like,
win.
gosh, we'll win this game and we'll win the next game. I'm already looking
Oh,
at it.
yeah.
Yeah,
and
You get your playoff tickets too? Did you order your playoff tickets, right?
And it's funny how injuries can
Yeah.
really change the dynamic. And look, I appreciate what the Nuggets are doing in Denver without the Joker.
Yeah.
I mean, and so
Yeah.
you just can't you just can't look at it and say, well, woe is me. I mean, that
Right.
But even with that, the 4th spot right now is the Rockets. They're 28 wins, 16 losses.
yeah,
And the Suns are 27 and 19. So they're right there. It's even if they have a 3-game slip up here.
if they hadn't lost those 2
I know.
games, they were ahead of both the
I know.
Rockets and the
I know, but they're
Lakers.
staying in the fight here. That's my point. So this is a 3 tough tonight's.
look.
Dare I say it, they should be the Nets regardless of
I
who's
hope
playing.
they do.
But Cavaliers, Detroit's another
Cavaliers
story.
at home, and I think they're back to back on.
They don't
Thursday,
play.
Friday.
They don't play a road game till after like March 2nd or March 1st or something like that. You have the All-Star break in there, but their home games until like beginning of March. They only play 1 road game in that time frame.
Wait.
That's
You
crazy.
said the beginning of March. That's not true.
It is because the All-Star game
Dude,
break up
stop
in there.
it.
Okay.
We're not even in February.
Yeah.
Dude, they're not playing
Yeah.
the whole month of February at
You have
home.
the All-Star break in there though.
well,
You gotta
well,
remember
well,
that.
okay.
Breaks
So
like
so
a
here's what they
week.
got. They at home. They got Boston, Detroit,
And I think they're
Cleveland,
at the Spurs, right?
and the Clippers.
Yeah, right here.
Out of the All-Star break.
Yeah, look at this. So look at this.
No,
Nets at home, Pistons at home, Cavaliers at home, Clippers
What I
at
just
home.
said, yeah.
Oh no, Trailblazers. Okay, so it's 2. Then you got Warriors, Suns at home. Then you got 76ers at home, Mavericks at home, Thunder at home. Suns Spurs is February 19th, so that's actually 2. I calculated wrong. Magic at home, Trailblazers at home, Celtics at home, Lakers at home, and then you go to the Kings March 2nd.
And then you got
2
3
road
and,
games.
and then you got 3 more home games.
Yeah, two road games and 2 road games until March 2nd.
How many games is that?
Oh man, we can make us do math now, Coop.
We're not good on this
2,
show.
4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 14.
So 12 of their next 14 games are at home.
Yes.
And remember the All-Star breaks in there, so that's why it gets stretched out a little bit as well. Yeah. Yeah, there's a very favorable schedule for them coming up.
But they're not healthy.
well,
No.
that's the problem. You got to get healthy. Got to get healthy.
That was a chance to.
I
to do
saw
something.
that yesterday. Some website put that little blurb up there, and I was like, I was like, that's not right. I think the website said they only had 1 road game, so I went and looked at it there. But I'm just like, that's not right. Oh my God, it is right. That's huge, huge.
Hey.
There you go, a little knowledge for you, Coop. That's why you come on the program every Tuesday. Are you coming back later on this week? You said you might.
I'll be back Friday.
Coming back
Yeah.
on Friday.
All right.
I will get it going as well. So, folks, come back tomorrow and join us. Of course, Mike Sheehan's scheduled to join us tomorrow. Scottsdale Christian Academy Eagles. Get caught up on them, and he wants to brag about the Bearsdale. So be ready
Not
for that.
3-time three-time state champions.
3-time state. Yeah, he's gonna
and,
talk
and,
about
and
the
they've
Bears.
done it without help.
Yeah, 2 with, 1 without.
One. And then, of course, Thursday's Lou, and then Coop back on Friday as well. He told you guys, he missed you guys. He wants to come back in here, so we got him coming in. So come and join us, would you? No, McCollum on Business is already in the can for the day. Check that out on demand. I'll be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock as well. We'll see everybody. Have a good one.